to us as something that's been, right there and there from time immemorial?
Okay, well, basically, bad behavior is human nature as much as good behavior is. However, scale across generations is what we then have to talk about. But for me, having this particular conversation about reviving the orientation offices is something that really gladdens my heart, because I don't know if you remember, we were having conversations during the elections, and I kept asking on this platform and others, where is the NOA? Where is the NOA? We're having elections, we're not hearing anything from you. We've had different monumental issues happen in this country. We heard nothing from them. But now we're glad to see that they have a new DG, and that the president is very deliberate about the perspective and the perception of the nation and how they can get it done. And I believe that if they're really serious about it, it will really be a walk in the park. Why did I say that? Now, I've always held the belief, which I've said here in several other places, that getting things done here, especially at the local government level, is the easiest and cheapest that we can get it done. And how can we get this executed? Now, we have different units, different departments at the local government levels. We have the health department at the local government levels. Maybe every quarter, you see them on your streets. They're trying to do immunization, vaccinations, attach somebody to them, pay the person a stipend, even for our national population census that we're trying to. We have sure mechanisms in place to get these things done. We don't need to spend billions of naira. Attach one person to the health officers, get the numbers counted. We have our census. Get someone attached to them. This orientation that we're trying to talk about gets it done. So saying that we want to have things done, and a lot of people are trying to see how they can compound it, it's really, really not how to get things going. But the fact that they want to get the offices revived across 774 local government areas in the country is something that I believe that they're very serious about, and we're hoping to see positive results in days to come.
Well, we over the years, especially in recent times, we've been talking about secessionists, the Biafra agitation, the Yoruba nation, some who came up, the Yoruba nation, et cetera, et cetera. People saying they want to go their way, saying that local government autonomy, and also saying regionalization, where we, left before we became a federation, unit. Do you feel that if we restore national values, we will be able to, come together and see the need to stay as one indivisible whole?
Well, it is one place to start from, but talk is cheap, like people say. It's real life outcomes that keeps people together. It's real life outcomes that we base our life decisions on, not, for example, if you were the opposite gender, you were saying, I love you, I love you, I love you, and there's no action to back it up. How can you prove that you truly love me? So that's where the challenge is. We've had a lot of talk, and we've had too much of it, in fact. But I believe that at this particular juncture, where we need to talk about national values and orientation, it needs to be carefully crafted, and we need to be deliberate about it. And I believe that if we're being serious about it, the people at the helm of affairs of this particular agency, both at the agency level and the ministerial level, should really come together to see how they can pull the opinions and resources of people across the country. Because now they have a very unique opportunity. It's, for example, let's say that they have a blank slate now. They have a very unique opportunity to see how they can craft the image of this country, not just for Nigerians, but for the people outside Nigerians, how they perceive us. So we must see how we capture the hopes and dreams of every single Nigerian from the different parts of this country. Not just saying you must be from the major three ethnic groups. We have other groups as well. So everyone must be seen to be represented, or else this entire exercise is in futility. So they have a very unique opportunity right now to see how we can craft national values as well as a national identity. Once we're able to craft a national identity, then everybody knows that this is what we're working towards. At the same time, government policies and actions and outcomes must also match these particular things we're talking about, because we can't keep saying that we're moving in this direction and then what is going on with the economy and every other area that affects us in our everyday life is going the other direction. So we must see how everything is moving in the same direction. But they have a very unique opportunity to see how they can craft the national image, our national values, and see how we can craft a national identity. Because that's the only way we can see ourselves as one Nigeria and not say that you're from a particular part of the country. And then these conversations around secessionism and every other form of divisive means or division will not be on the table. So we must have a national identity crafted for us.
Come with the same question, because if you look at our national anthem, we say the labor of our Eurospurs shall never be in vain, to serve with heart and might one nation bound in freedom, peace, and unity. So exactly what do you think, we are united upon? Is it something, of dignity? Is it something that is valuable for the nation? And at what points did we begin to go separate ways?
Oh, well, the the divergent point is something that we would have to take a critical look at, because we can't say that it's happened in maybe 99 or 93 or 87. But I believe it was a gradual process. We're talking about what unites us as a people. It is, well, I mean, part of the things he said, it is our sense of patriotism and a sense of love and unity. I tell people that, I mean, if you spend a lot of time on social media, you would believe that Nigerians are very divided. But let me give you an instance where somebody who's not a Nigerian attacks a Nigerian. Then you will know that Nigerians. So Nigerians will have a principle. You are a Nigerian, and the only person allowed to insult you. Somebody who's not a Nigerian does not have the right to insult you. I'll go for their heads. Within what we claim to divide us, it is the same thing that unites us, our love for one another. Either we like it or not, we have a very strong love for one another. If you want to know it as well, go and see how we treat ourselves outside the country. I mean, you go outside the country, either you're in Europe or America or in Australia, and you mistakenly look like somebody who's from Nigeria, or they look at your nose or your forehead, or maybe your accent, and then somebody says, are you Nigerian? I say, are you from here? And then the bond is struck immediately. We have an innate love for ourselves, but I believe that the frustrations that a lot of us feel right now with how things are with the economy and all is how a lot of people are misdirecting their frustration. A lot of people are getting to lash out a lot. I do not believe that Nigerians are as divided as a lot of people present it to be. I do not believe that we hate one another. We love one another. But unfortunately, when you have a lot of people who are frustrated, who are upset, who are angry, you lash out at the person closest to you, which is also another Nigerian. So I believe that once we're able to solve a myriad of our challenges, we will see this love truly expressed in ways that we've never seen it before. But we must see how we start from now to identify that we must come together as one people and stay together as one people, because either we like it or not, what we have that unites us is way more than the things that divide us. So we must live with that reality.
For instance, I think I can actually make an allusion to things that happen on social media where Nigerians unite when it comes to saying that this artist belong to us.
Yes.
Right. And then our own is we own the jollof rice. Our jollof rice is the best.
It's the best.
It's better than
I mean, so it's
the one from Ghana.
Sorry, before I mean, it's really, really interesting, because the same thing I will yab you for on social media as a valid point. If somebody who's not a Nigerian says the same thing to you, I go for the person's head.
Absolutely.
And you're wondering, you're saying the same thing, but you're not allowed to do it.
All right. I saw a video on social media last night, which was posted by one of those bloggers, of a man who parked somewhere, and then he's in Port Harcourt, according to the blogger. And some thieves, some robbers, just came to rob the man, and they carjackers, they snatched the car and went off. People were now reacting, saying that, listen, the man ought not to have parked there. Or if he had parked there, he should have got into his car and drove off almost immediately, since he knows that that place might not be safe, all of that. And others are saying, come on, listen, where I parked my car, as long as it's not in the middle of the road, how long I tarry for in my car should not be the problem. Why don't you speak to those who have come to rob me of my belongings, of my property? Where do we miss it here again? Because where people are supposed to be blaming the perpetrators of crime, but they'll be blaming the owner. I remember in Yoruba language, they say, I can't really remember the expression, but they will be blaming you,
Yes.
the owner, why you
Especially
left
in
it somewhere.
Ibadan.
I don't want to mention because I picked my wife from Ibadan.
Okay, please, our wife,
let us
don't, our wife, that's withdrawn. Please
So
stay with
you,
him.
you understand the point that I'm making. So exactly where do we miss it here too? Because where we are supposed to, put the blame, we'll take it to the one who is the victim.
Well, interestingly, what we find on social media, a lot of it I don't take very seriously because I have found that a lot of people say what they say on social media. So there are different groups of people. Some say it for their engagement. So some like to be contrarians. Even if you tell them that this is black, they say, no, it's not black, it's beige, brown, baked in soda water, something. So they just want to be contrarians so that you can react, okay, so they can get engagement. Some people are really just disingenuous, and some people are honestly and harmlessly just not that bright, okay? They just don't know better.
That's right.
All right? So they're different people, they're different groups of people. But in terms of speaking to our core and what we stand for, I believe that, unfortunately, we live in a time where even when you have to say the truth, a lot of dissenting voices will want to shoot you down, they'll want to silence you, especially on social media. And this is not just a Nigerian thing now, it's a global thing where everybody knows that this is this, and you dare go against the grain and people come for you. And frankly speaking, some of us don't really want a headache because, like I tell people, personally, I don't engage in anything political on social media. If you want to know my views on anything, I'm on these platforms every other week. So tune in. If you don't tune in, fine. But I'm not going to be engaging with somebody that is not even interested in either learning or having an honest conversation, because you'd find that even people that should know better and do know better, they are just being disingenuous because they want to appeal to a certain type of audience so they can get certain types of engagement. And I'm not going to let you farm engagement off me when I have things to do with my time. So that's not going to happen. So yes, in terms of our values, it's something that we need to look at, and more importantly, from the home. From the home. That's where we say charity begins from. Unfortunately, we've lost a lot of our value systems from the homes. Back then, I mean, we don't hear it again, so I'll still say back then. They used to say, remember the son of whom you are. Now we don't hear it anymore. Where we also have a proverb that says that your son is not a dry cleaner, but he comes home with clothes every day. So you know that, okay, your son is, his trouser size is waist 32. The trouser I saw in his room is waist 40. Jeans, another one is waist 38. He's not a dry cleaner. You don't need a prophet to tell you that your son is a thief. So, unfortunately, these things have been eroded and they are no longer there in our society. They're no longer there in our homes. And I believe that that's where we really do need to begin this particular orientation from, where people also need to know that remembering the son of whom you are means that you don't damage the family name. Now people don't even care. You have parents who are even the ones who are encouraging their children to go into cybercrime and all sorts of
They even have
vices.
Association of
Parents
of
these funny folks. So from the home, that's where we need to address this particular position from.
Be short on this particular one.
Okay.
Just in less than a minute.
All right, very quickly, the NOA needs to understand that they need to have a holistic approach to this. So it isn't just about using the local governments alone. You need to liaise with the religious houses. You need to liaise with the Ministry of Education to see how they can include these things in the educational curriculum, see how we can engage families, especially maybe through the religious houses, see how you can, of course, the local hanging fruits, the TVs, the radios, the social media, and all of that. But we must see how we craft a national identity. It is very important at this time.